everyone, welcome to the learning video for IQ Released Items Analysis Tool. In this video, we'll walk through the organization of this amazing resource and explore some ways that investigating the question can inform the planning and delivery of instruction. To find the IQ tool, go to leadforward.com and then click Resources. From the Content Builder tab, you'll find the IQ tool right here in the middle of the page within the Resources tab. You can also access the IQ tool through the LeadForward app within the purple Content Builder Resources button. At any time, feel free to pause this video and explore this tool on your own. Just resume the video when you're ready to continue. So let's dive in. The Released Items Analysis Tool, or IQ tool, provides a quick and easy way to search for released STAR items. So let's pretend you're a 6th grade math teacher and we're using the IQ tool to plan an upcoming unit of instruction. We start by simply selecting a content area. Then we select our STAR tested grade in the drop-down menu and click Next. The next step includes different options to search for and filter through the items. For all content areas, you can search by text cluster or by student expectation. There's an additional option to search by subcluster for math, science, and social studies. Since we're planning for an entire unit, we're going to go ahead and search by text cluster, then click Next to continue. The text cluster option gives us a list of all the text clusters in grade 6 math. We could choose the Select All button if we wanted to see items that align to all of the grade 6 math text clusters. Instead, we want to only look at items aligned to our unit that's upcoming, expressions, equations, and inequalities, so we check this cluster and click Next. The next screen shows us all the content student expectations aligned to our text cluster, expressions, equations, and inequalities, and that have available released items from previous STAR assessments. You will find these standards on the LeadForward Teacher Learning Report, which is also available on the LeadForward Resources page and within the app. It's at this stage of our search that we can decide to either search by specific student expectations or look at all student expectations from within our chosen text cluster. Let's proceed with looking at all aligned SEs by checking that option and then click Next. Lastly, we have the option to pick one or more individual years of released items, or we can just click the Select All box to have all years of released items included in our search. When the report generates, the first thing we see is the cover page. At the very top, we have the option to save and/or download our search results into a PDF file. But for now, let's just go ahead and scroll through our results of selected assessment items and see what we have. Immediately following the cover page that is labeled with the text cluster our chosen items came from, we have a user guide that explains the tool's structure and that provides tips on using the tool in planning. We'll talk through most of this information as we review the items. Now we get to the items aligned to our text cluster, expressions, equations, and inequalities. Key knowledge and skill statements for our cluster are listed under the heading followed by all available released items. Now, a quick note on how the items are sorted. Since we chose to search by text cluster, the items are sorted by student expectation from within that cluster in numeric alpha order. All items for each student expectation are then sorted by year, beginning with the most recent year. Finally, if there is more than one item in the same year, the items are displayed in sequential numeric order. Okay, so let's scroll through items for one of the readiness standards in the Expressions, Equations, and Inequalities cluster 6.7a. Let's use this item to go over the features and information. The text of the student expectation is listed at the top of every release test item. Directly below, we have the tested year and question or item number. So this item is question 46 from the 2016 grade 6 STAR math test. Below that, we have the actual item and answer choices from the test. And at the very bottom, we see the correct answer, in this case, J. Now, the purpose of examining release test items is to help us figure out what a standard looks like through the lens of assessment. So in our PLC, we can discuss what specific content was assessed as well as how that content was assessed in each release item. In this example, prime factorization is the assessed content. Now, let's look at the features and information on the right side. This item is in the Expressions, Equations, and Inequalities text cluster, and more specifically is aligned to the Order of Operations subcluster. 6.7a is a readiness standard, and back in 2016, math had process standards reported with item data. Beginning in 2017, process standards were not listed with item information, even though every item still has multiple process standards included. So what we need to be aware of is that in math, process is not coded, but it is tested. We can use the teacher learning report in helping to ensure we include multiple processes in our planning and delivery of instruction. There's also a space to record any stimulus that are being tested in the specific item we are examining. For this item, we could list expressions, since we see answer choices in expression form. This is also a good time to look at all the other items and ask what other kinds of stimuli were used to assess this specific standard. The analysis template also includes a data analysis section. As available, state-level answer choice data from the Texas Education Agency's Item Analysis Summary Report is included in the state column. Let's look at this more closely. With this data, we see that 56% of students statewide chose the correct answer J. The most highly chosen incorrect answer was H at 21%, followed by answer choice F and last G. We can enhance our instructional planning even more by including our own campus-specific answer choice data in the local column. If you're subscribed to the LeadForward data module within your data system, it includes the LeadForward IQ data report, which provides the answer choice data for your campus organized in the same way as the IQ tool. Having this data helps us analyze the types of errors students are making statewide and on our own campus. And finally, implications for instruction may come from asking ourselves questions like, was the item similar to one used in instruction or one which required students to transfer learning? What prerequisite skills were essential for accessing this item? What vocabulary did kids need? What are the big takeaways from this analysis that can help us during planning? As we talk through these questions, there is space to manually annotate important information and takeaways. Let's briefly cover a few unique aspects of the tool for other content areas. For English Language Arts and Reading and Spanish Language Arts and Reading, the IQ tool provides information to help with the transition from the old standards to the new texts for STAR-tested grades 3 through English 2. When searching by the text cluster, a list of tested genres will appear. You can look at all items from all genres or choose to search by individual genre. Here is where old and new standards work together. In this grade 5 example, the student expectations displayed are the new standards that align with previous student expectations that were included for expository passage items. For example, 5.3c represents items aligned with the old student expectation 5.2a. We'll continue by selecting all. Remember that we selected the genre expository, and all aligned knowledge and skills reflect the new text. Sorting of items for language arts begins with the genre and then is sorted by year, most recent year first, then by passage. The actual passage will be displayed along with the aggregate state level data for all combined items in each passage. Then you get all student expectations in numeric alpha order followed by item number. Here's a sample grade 5 reading item. Each item displays aligned new standards at the top with the old student expectation below. Items for science and social studies follow the same search features as math. Social studies items reference the streamlined text with the aligned previous standard below. Another unique feature in social studies is LeadForward's designation of spiral standards. These are the standards that repeat or spiral through most units of instruction to add perspective and depth to the content across the chronology of the course. We'll use a sample science item to look at one more cool feature of the IQ tool. If you ever notice this symbol, it reveals the item as interesting. To be labeled as an interesting item, it must meet most of the following criteria. Was the stimulus critical to the item, or could it be used to generate several other different questions? Does the state level data for the item reveal a highly chosen incorrect answer, or any interesting patterns? Does the item reveal likely content or process or testing errors that we can learn from? And lastly, are there meaningful instructional implications we can pull from this item? Remember that there's a ton of stuff to support your work on the LeadForward website. The IQ tool and other resources are also available on the free LeadForward app. Please reach out to us with any questions that you might have, and thanks so much for watching.